So this one's kind of sad. This is actually, if you didn't know, Kyr Mobile, another Aftershock content creator for Diablo Immortal, and actually makes really good quality content. But if you didn't know, he's actually my best friend. This is me and him in my house playing golfing for legendary crest giveaway bets that we were doing, etc. We were roommates together at one point. We were coworkers together. He's just a really great guy that makes really good, high quality content. And so he's quitting Diablo Immortal. So obviously I'm invested in this and I want to know why and I want to hear about it. So let's go.
Hey guys, how's it going? It is Kyr here with another video. Figured I'd give you guys a quick update since it has been a minute since I posted a video, probably about 40 to 50 days since I've actually made a video. Basically, it comes down to I'm just bored of Diablo Immortal, wasn't interested in making videos on it, wasn't interested in playing the game. I felt like there's only a few points of fun in the game, and I felt like everything was a chore to get to the point to where you can actually be relevant in the parts of the game that were fun.
So I think he's referencing right there. I think he's probably referencing PvP because me and him are similar where we both enjoy PvP in games, him a little bit more than me, I would say. And I noticed he did a lot of PvP in the games. Well, the thing about PvP is there's one stat that in particular matters way more than the others that you need to increase to get stronger in PvP. What is that stat, class? Say it together. Resonance. That's right, resonance. Can you spell resonance? And in order to get resonance, it's a very slow grind, meaning when you're trying to do things like PvP and you're like, okay, well, what I want to do is get stronger in this game mode of which I enjoy, you can look into the future and be like, it will only take me, let me do the math, 54 years and some change to get to where I want to be in PvP. You can math it out and it becomes very depressing and it de-incentivizes you to play, which would be my guess as to what he's referencing.
And so that's why I stopped playing it. But I did enjoy my time playing it. It was really nice to have such an awesome community of people in the Aftershock Discord. Plus,
that is actually a great point as well. I was just talking about this with another clan in our server cluster. And one of the things that we kind of were agreeing on is that the games that I tend to enjoy more or the people tend to enjoy more are games in which the community, it gets heavily involved with each other and you talk a lot on Discord or you make friends or just talking game even. And if you don't have that, games can get stellar much quicker. I've kept up to date, at least trying to talk with a decent amount of people, et cetera, from my server. And I feel like that's helped me keep more enthralled with the game.
Plus all the content creators and being able to actually interact with them and not be playing a game, but they were a lot of the content stuff that I've done from a YouTube side, it's all single player games and we kind of talk about the same game, whereas this was nice because
that's a good point too. Like we come from games like Raid Shadow Legends, etc., where there's an arena mode where you can fight against somebody, but that person's just placed at defense. They're not even there. There's no actual game modes where anyone actually interacts at all. So even though they're games where they're like multiplayer games, they don't feel multiplayer for all intents and purposes.
We actually got to play with each other, group up, do activities and stuff like that. And I thought that was really awesome.
I agree. That's
after
pretty awesome
hitting
point
Immortal and doing all that, I felt like it just ran its course and I was kind of over it.
Now, the point he made right there, we maybe I went by a little too fast, but I kind of want to expand upon, which is that after he was in Immortal, he felt like he was just kind of over it. And that has been a consistent thing that I have noticed. I think there's two things going on. I feel like the entire game is around, it's literally called Diablo Immortal. It's around the Immortal and Shadow system. So becoming the Immortal is this big, put on the pedestal. So when you actually get it, it's a little bit of a letdown because you're like, oh, the toy's not as shiny as I thought it was now that I actually own it. So there's a little bit of de-hype from there. There's also some legitimacies to the fact that the Immortal could probably actually be buffed. I'm not talking the Immortal for the server, I'm talking all 300 Immortals. The reward system could actually be buffed because Vault Gear tends to be not as exciting as people kind of think it is. My suggestion to fix this, for instance, would just put green items in there. Imagine if you could just pick between green items that you wanted. That would make it a lot easier to farm those. But we haven't really seen many buffs or any buffs for the Immortal system in terms of actual reward payout. So becoming the actual Immortal is more work than it's worth. And there's even some arguments that's literally better to even be the Shadow just in flat reward structure. So there is multiple reasons that once you were the Immortal or are no longer the Immortals, you feel like the game's almost over.
So I just stopped playing. But I did have fun. I don't think of this as like a negative experience. It was just is what it is. And whenever a game's boring, I'm not going to complain about the game.
Something that Kyr Mobile is actually really good at. If you notice on his channel and you go watch his videos, he only ever uploads when he's really excited about something. So all of his videos stay very consistently high quality educational value because they're all just guides. Like when he's really into the game, he's posting. When he's not, he's not. He hasn't posted in like 45 days on his channel because he just wasn't excited by the game, but he still held 110,000 views in the last 28 days or last 30 days on his channel, which is still pretty good for not posting in like a month and a half. And that's because his content tends to be fairly informative. So whatever game he goes to is going to be lucky to have him.
And so I've just been doing other stuff. I do this whole YouTube thing part-time anyway. It's really not that big of a deal if I stop making videos. So I just figured I would just not do it because there's nothing really inspiring me on what I wanted to make. But probably going to be posting some Infinite Magic Grade videos on this channel. It's a mobile game, very much like Raid Shadow Legends. I've been having a lot of fun with it, and so I'll probably make videos on that. So there's my update. That's where I've been, and that's what I'm going to be doing. And if you guys are interested, feel free to tune on in. If not, it's all good. I'll probably be back for D4 if you want to see some of that. So with that, guys, I'm out of here. Peace.
All right, well, that was Kyra Mobile. If you've watched any of his content before, we should give him a like, give him a subscribe if you haven't. He's posted a lot of really good informative content. It's sad to see him go, especially because he is my best friend and I love playing the game with him. But I understand his points. I've talked to him about these points, obviously off camera, because we do talk. And yeah, I mean, after the Immortal, I did see a significant amount of people get bored with the game, like after we were the Immortals. And to be honest, we had a pretty long reign at 6 weeks, and doing the Immortal daily activities for 6 weeks straight, I feel like drained a lot of people and made people not want to do it again. And I also think the points about like getting some game modes are fun, but getting to the point where you can actually enjoy those game modes at the highest level, it takes so much time that it's difficult to do. So there's some valid, legitimate points. We'll miss you, Kyra Mobile, and I guess we'll meet back up in the next game.